What's up, everybody? It's Big Kiqo here. Today I'll be doing my UFC 329 predictions. I'll be doing the prelims and main card. I got some gameplay up on here. I got 4 fights from the main card. I ran out of my trial, so I couldn't do any more fights. Sorry, guys. I'm missing the Roy Vol fight in the gameplay. But anyways, let's get straight into it. The first fight on the prelims is Luke Riley versus Kai Kamaka III. Luke Riley's been looking really good. From what I've seen, he's won every fight in the UFC. He's 13-0 overall. Kai Kamaka III, he's 18-7-1. He was in the UFC before. I believe he went away for a little bit. Just came back on a short notice fight recently. Won a split decision. From what I remember, it was a decent fight, a little entertaining fight. Luke Riley's been looking really good. I haven't seen too much of Kamaka, so I can't really give too much of a judgment on him. But from what I've seen from Luke Riley, he seems really good. He's slick. He has some. Doesn't have like crazy power, but he's stopped his first opponent, and I want to say he might have got another stoppage, but I'm not too entirely sure because I got him mixed up with somebody else here recently. So let's look at his record real quick, guys. He just fought Michael as well. Okay, yeah, I do remember that. That was a decision, but he did finish Bogdan Grad. I think he will win this fight, though. I think he'll win this fight by unanimous or split decision. He seems like he's just quicker than what I remember from Kamaka, and he has some decent power, and I think he's just a young, hungry fighter, and, I think he's just going to get the job done here on Saturday night. Next up, we got Cody Garbrandt versus Adrian Yanez. Cody Garbrandt, we all know he's looked super washed these last few years, and he won his last fight. Technically, he won his last fight is because he got kicked in the nuts 3 times. I had to deduct points from the other guy. I thought he won the first round, the other guy won the second round, and then the third round, nothing happened. So it was kind of like, I don't really know. So they gave it to Garbrandt. He didn't actually like win, so it's like kind of a weird kind of win there. Adrian Yanez, he got robbed in his last fight. He beat Ricky Simon. I do not care. He beat Ricky Simon. Should have got that decision. My fault if you heard that loud ass car that just drove by. Adrian Yanez won his last fight. I like watching him fight. I like watching Cody fight. Cody, he can have some fun fights, but he's just low output through the last couple years, and not the same guy. Adrian Yanez, he puts pressure, he has power, and I think he's going to end up finishing Cody Garbrandt in the second round. Cody doesn't have a good chin, we all know. Adrian Yanez, like I said, he's fast and he has some power. Not like crazy power, but, he's stopped a few people, and Cody Garbrandt cannot take punches to save his life anymore. So in the first or second round, I believe Adrian Yanez will finish this fight. Next up, we got Gable Steveson versus Alicia Ellison. Ellison is 5-2. Gable is 3-0. Steveson is his first fight in the UFC. Is the other guy's first fight as well, I believe. Steveson, he's a big, hyped-up prospect. They're trying to get pushed and into the heavyweight division, get some new faces in, and he has the little issue with the case in Minnesota that ended up getting dropped. The charges got dropped or whatever, but ended up being like through a loophole that they changed the law. So a lot of people don't like him for that. Understandable. I don't really like him either. I've seen some of his fights, just to see how it went, and he looks like. He doesn't look great, but he doesn't look horrible. I think his wrestling is going to get him through some of these cans, because this guy, they're just feeding him a can on International Fight Week, so he gets a big win on a big show and all that. But what would be funny, though, is if this guy does beat Gable Steveson. I would laugh my ass off. But I'm expecting a round 1 finish of some kind here, a KO, submission. He's gotten KOs in all of his fights, KO, TKOs. So I think I'm going to go more on that feel. I'm going to go round 1 TKO. They're trying to get, like I said, trying to give him a nice propped up win so he looks good on a big show. Things like that. Next up, we got Nikita Krylov versus Robert Whitaker. Robert Whitaker is moving up in weight for this fight. Krylov had a little bit of a layoff, but he's been back for like 2 or 3 fights now. He's like 1-2, I believe. But it is what it is. That's what happens after a break. But if he gets back in the groove, he might get some wins back up. But I don't think he's at a point where you ever get a title shot. Whitaker, he's 35, going up a weight class is going to be a tough fight for him. He's 2 inches shorter. Has like a 4-inch disadvantage against Krylov. It's not like looking too great for him. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't really know how this fight plays out. Like I've seen Krylov fight, but like I don't watch him. I haven't seen him fight too often. And I've seen Whitaker fight. He's obviously good. He doesn't get too many finishes anymore. He got the one against Alskarov, but I don't know. I think this fight will go to a unanimous decision for Robert Whitaker here. Next up, we're moving up to the main card. We got Terrence McKinney versus King Green, and what's guaranteed to be an action fight, and most likely ending in a finish. If not, it's going to be a King Green decision masterclass, most likely, because they both start. Not both. Terrence starts aggressive. Bobby starts like the counter, and keeps his hands down and everything. Like I said, this is going to be a really fun fight. I'm really excited for this one. Terrence McKinney's always been fun to watch. King Green's always fun to watch. I like using him in the games. I like watching him fight. Like he's one of my favorite fighters to watch. I can't even lie to you. He's kind of underrated, but hey, he is kind of a journeyman at the same time. So it is what it is. But for this fight, though, I do see a King Green victory coming out. I think he'll be able to survive the early aggression from Terrence McKinney. He'll counter, and Terrence McKinney, he's kind of a one-round, half of a round fighter. So if he can survive the early onslaught, which I think he can, his chin's not as good anymore, but I think he'll be able to survive. I think he'll end up getting a first or second round finish. If not, like I said, I can see a 3-round masterclass from King Green. Next up, we got Brandon Royval versus Lonier Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh just beat Brandon Moreno like pretty decisively not that long ago, on short notice too, by the way. But he lost to Charles Johnson by KO, so did Joshua Van. Now he's the champion, and people joke that maybe that's the best space for becoming flyweight champion now. But Kavanaugh, yeah, he's looked really good. He's slick, he's fast, but most people are at flyweight. But he's fast, he's slick. His striking has looked good. It doesn't seem like he has like crazy power or anything. Royval, he's been in some fights. He's like 7-5 in the UFC. He just got knocked out in his last fight. He's been in some wars. This one's kind of a hard. I don't know. I don't think this goes to. I don't know if this ends in a finish unless Royval's chin just goes after that cop fight. I think Lonier Kavanaugh is going to end up winning a unanimous decision. He looked really good against Brandon Moreno, and I expect a similar type performance going up against Brandon Royval here on Saturday night. From what I've seen, like I said, he seems good, and I like what I've seen. I like Royval, so I don't really mind who wins this fight. Either way, I think I'm good. I just hope to have a good fight. They have a good fight. Maybe there's a finish. Maybe there's not. Who knows? But like I said, I got Lonier Kavanaugh by unanimous decision. Next up, I got Corey Sandhagen versus Mario Batista. This is a rematch from 7 years ago or something like that. Crazy long ago. Sandhagen beat him by submission. One of 3 of Batista's losses. Sandhagen, he's been on a mixed path since then. He'll go on a streak, he'll lose a fight, he'll go win a couple fights, lose a fight, maybe lose a couple fights, here and there. He just fought Merab last year, lost to Merab. It's his first title shot. He looked good early on, but then he just faded and got knocked down by Merab eventually. Actually, this one, don't really see this playing out like their first fight. I see it obviously being more competitive this time. And I can see another Sandhagen win here. I think he's just too tall, too like unpredictable for Batista. Batista could try to go for the wrestling, but Sandhagen's gotten better at the wrestling since the Umar fights and the fights before that. He's gotten better at his wrestling. He's kind of became a wrestler in some fights as well. This one's an interesting fight. Like I said, it's a rematch. Batista's going to want to try to take his head off, try to get that win back. But I don't see him winning this fight, to be honest with y'all. I can see another Sandhagen win, this time probably by unanimous or split decision. Either way, I believe it will be a decision in this fight. I think it'll just be a really close one. And Sandhagen, he finished Figueiredo like last year, but it was kind of like a knee injury type situation. Batista, he submitted Oliveira earlier this year, Vinicius Oliveira. So I don't know. This is a really close fight though. Next up, we got Benoit Saint Denis versus Paddy Pimblett. This one is a co-main event. This one's kind of an interesting fight as well. Benoit likes to march forward no matter what. He's kind of like a zombie almost. Like he's kind of slow, but he keeps going forward, punching, shooting takedowns. And Paddy Pimblett, he has a really good chin. As much as I hate to admit it, I don't like Paddy, but he has a good chin. He has good wrestling, so that probably stop some of the takedowns, maybe even catch some submissions. This one, I can't even lie to you, I can see a Paddy Pimblett submission victory here. Maybe not a guillotine, maybe like a triangle or something like that. I do see a finish in this fight. I can see it in like the second round. I can see them kind of testing each other in the first, maybe going through some exchanges, but in the second things pick up. I think Benoit ends up getting caught into a submission, maybe even getting caught with some punches. I don't know. Maybe punches leading to a submission. But I got Paddy Pimblett winning by some round 2 submission in this fight. And then next up, we now got the main event of the evening. Conor McGregor versus Max Holloway. Conor McGregor hasn't fought in years. This is years in the making. This is as close as we got to a fight in years. He pulled out 2 weeks before the Chandler fight. This is going to be a good one, I think. I think Max is going to beat the shit out of him, though. I can't even lie to y'all. Max, he's been consistently competitive since McGregor. I mean, McGregor hasn't fought in 5 years, like I said. Max has fought probably 10 times since McGregor. That's an exaggeration, but obviously he's fought a lot, and he's looked good in his last fights. His chin might have gotten broken a little bit by Ilya Taporia. He's gotten dropped in some fights since then. But I do see a Max Holloway victory by a third round TKO. It's just been too long for Conor. As much as I like, it'd be cool to watch him fight again. I think he will fight again. I just don't see him winning this fight. It's been too long. Max Holloway's been very active, and third round TKO is what I'm expecting to happen, maybe even a second. But let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.